Hell yeah, welcome to Comic Con. Today we're going to look at Marvel's big bad, Thanos. Thanos is so strong, he knocked the Hulk and Drax off their feet with one slap. That's right, not even a punch. It wasn't even a proper slap, it was a backhand. Since Thanos' primary weapon, the Infinity Gauntlet, is tied so much to the stories, I decided to look at this aspect in this video as well. And with that out of the way, let's dive in. Thanos debuted in Iron Man number 55 in 1973. The story was called Beware the Blood Brothers. Thanos is smarter than the leader of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, who is the smartest person on Earth. This means that Thanos is smarter than anyone in the world. In his debut appearance, Thanos had a slim build. The writer suggested that the artist beef up his physique. Thanos was made bulkier, which is how he has looked ever since. Upon his introduction, Thanos claimed to be the Emperor of Titan, which wasn't true. Which means that Thanos is a maniac, a genocidal murderer, and a fibber. Due to his gnarled chin, Hulk calls him Prune Chin. Iron Man calls him Chins. He has many powers such as enhanced strength, speed, agility, reflexes, durability, immunity to illness, age, and toxins. He doesn't need air, heat, food, water, or any form of sustenance. His mind is immune to almost all forms of psychic attacks. Also, he can shoot cosmic beams from his eyes and hands. He stands 6'7" and weighs 985 pounds. The character was created by Jim Starlin. He came up with the character during a college psychology class. Although Thanos is Marvel's most infamous villain, he was absent for 12 years. He did not appear in a single story from 1977 to 1989. Thanos has killed the following: Drax's entire family, War Machine, Annihilation, his parents, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Nova, Adam Warlock, Star-Lord, Deadpool, Silver Surfer, Drax on 2 occasions, Death itself, and the entire universe. All of those things got better. Although Thanos is often seen as the deadliest villain in the Marvel Universe, he originally wanted to be an artist, which I think is a good time to look at Thanos' backstory. Thanos is a deviant. This means he's a mutant of his race. His mutation gives him purple skin, black eyes, and a gnarled chin. Although it makes him look hideous, it also makes his skin extremely durable. Thanos is from the largest moon of Saturn, Titan. His species are also called Titans. His race lived on Titan for 750,000 years. It was a world of peace and knowledge until Thanos was born. His mother, Suisan, was said to be the most beautiful person on the planet Titan. Suisan went insane after seeing Thanos' deformed appearance and tried to kill him. She was locked in an insane asylum for years. Thanos was meant to be called Dione. When she saw his horrid appearance, she found it more fitting to call him Thanos. His name is derived from the Greek god of death, Thanatos. Thanos' father is called Alars. Since he is Titan's greatest scientist, he is better known as Mentor. At first, Thanos was a pacifist. Thanos was bullied at school for his disfigured appearance, so he tended to play with his brother, Eros. Because he had no friends, he lost himself in his studies and became the smartest child in school. When Thanos was a teenager, he took some school kids to a cave that he thought looked beautiful. While they were inside, the cave collapsed. Because of Thanos' mutation, he is extremely durable, so he survived the cave-in. Sadly, all the other kids died. Because he was the only survivor, the rest of the kids in the school assumed that Thanos killed them. Until Thanos was born, no child had died on Titan in 200 years. Thanos tried to understand why he was different from everybody else, but couldn't come up with an answer. In the end, he concluded the answer must lie in his mother, since she gave birth to him. He dissected her, hoping to find an answer. He didn't. Thanos was the first murderer in the history of the Titan civilization. Thanos eventually killed all but 100 inhabitants of his home planet. Thanos returns to Titan every year to remind himself of what he once was. Now you might think to yourself, oh okay, so that happened and now Thanos became the biggest evil bad guy ever, right? No, it wasn't that simple. Even after he left Titan, he genuinely tried to live peacefully. When he moved away, he met a woman and had a child with her. He took on a menial engineering job to make ends meet. He had many opportunities to kill, but he refused, believing he could bury his evil impulses if he simply didn't act on them. Sadly, he couldn't feel love for his wife and child and abandoned her. He found another woman and had a child with her. He kept doing this over and over, hoping that he'd one day experience love. Unfortunately, it never happened. The only thing Thanos loves is death. And when I say Thanos loves death, I mean he literally is in love with the Grim Reaper. Death appears with Thanos as a beautiful woman whom he calls Mistress Death. Thanos tries to take as many lives as possible in the hope of deserving her love. In case you can't tell, Thanos is insane. In the Silver Surfer cartoon, it was stated that Thanos was in love with Lady Chaos instead of Mistress Death. This was to avoid using the word death in a children's cartoon. Even though Thanos has killed more than anyone in the universe, he was extremely squeamish in school. When he was told to dissect an animal in biology class, Thanos ran out vomiting. Although Thanos is incredibly strong, he is not the most powerful person in the Marvel Universe. When he fought Galactus, Thanos admitted to himself that the best he could do was stall him for a few seconds before facing inevitable death. The reason Thanos is so dangerous is not because of his strength, but his ambition. Thanos is the most ambitious character in the universe. He will do anything and wait as long as he has to in order to obtain what he desires. Thanos traveled to the future to learn that he became the king of the universe and ruled the cosmos in a throne made of Galactus' corpse. Thanos destroyed the Bifrost, which links Thor's world to other worlds. Although that would sound more impressive if Thor didn't do it in the first movie. Earlier I mentioned he had a brother called Eros, so let's look at him a little bit. Eros is a superhero who has teamed up with the Avengers. Although he has many standard powers such as super strength, flight, and super reflexes, his main ability is to make anyone nearby feel calm around him. Anyone in his proximity will see him as a friend or a lover, even if they hate his guts. Due to another character called Eros, Thanos' brother legally had to change his name. Eros' name was changed to Star Fox, which is really confusing because of the Nintendo video game of the same name. Actually, that also changed his name. It had to change his name to Starwing, then Lilac Wars. Basically, don't ever call anything Star Fox. It gets really confusing. Also, the entire case of Eros' name for the original character was dropped, so all of this name changing was completely pointless. It was fun though. Once a year, Thanos meets Eros to exchange gifts. Thanos met God. Nice guy. In an alternative universe, Thanos became Captain America after Steve Rogers died. Thanos destroyed Trump Tower. So he's not all bad. Thanos' appearance was inspired by the Superman villain, Darkseid, but that's not the only person Thanos ripped off. Thanos usually contemplates his plans on a hovering chair. This idea was taken from the DC character, Metron. Thanos has a Saturn complex. This means he is compelled to kill his children so they can never succeed him. He only has one living child called Thade. When Thanos learned that Thade was residing on Earth, he launched a massive assault on the entire planet. Since he can't trust having offspring, Thanos created many clones of himself. These are called the Thanosai. Some of these clones had their DNA mixed with other beings. Armor is a clone of Thanos and Iron Man. X is a clone of Thanos and Professor X. Warrior is a clone of Thanos and Gladiator. Mystic is a clone of Thanos and Doctor Strange. And Omega is a clone of Thanos and Galactus. After Gamora lost her family, she was wandering the streets trying to survive. After being beaten to the brink of death, Thanos found Gamora and adopted her. Realizing that she was going to die, Thanos enhanced her with cybernetics, which gave her super strength, speed, and agility. Although she turned on Thanos when she realized how evil he was, Gamora will always be grateful that he saved her life. Probably the weirdest thing Thanos did as a father was set up a Christmas tree for Gamora and give her presents. How does he know what the concept of Christmas is? Thanos destroyed the entire nation of Japan. It eventually got better. Although Thanos has been at odds with the Guardians of the Galaxy, they allied to kill an entire universe. This dimension was called the Cancerverse. It was a realm without death, which meant that life could never stop growing. Over time, the entire universe became one giant living corpse. Thanos had his heart ripped out by Drax. As he looked at his own heart, Thanos' last words were, "Interesting." Yep, that's exactly what Thanos would say. Death returned Thanos to life and made him unkillable. This devastated Thanos as he knew he could never experience the embrace of death ever again. He owns a time machine. Thanos said he lost count of the amount of people he has killed the day he strangled the last of his children. Although the most famous story about Thanos is the Infinity Gauntlet, there was another story where Thanos became even more powerful. Thanos absorbed the heart, an energy that allowed him to become one with every concept in the universe. Almost every superhero and galactic being battled Thanos, but he effortlessly killed all of them and absorbed the universe into himself. Death appeared and kissed Thanos. Now that Thanos had won death over, he had nothing else to prove. He brought the universe back to life and sacrificed his life until he came back to life because this is a comic book and nobody can stay bloody dead. On IGN's top 100 comic book villains of all time, Thanos ranked surprisingly low, only at number 47. He is nicknamed the Mad Titan, Master Lord, and the Outcast. It's common knowledge that Josh Brolin played Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, he was also played by Jim Cummings in the 2009 animated series The Superhero Squad Show.
At last, the Infinity Gauntlet. Some assembly required.
Jim Cummings is one of the greatest voice actors of all time with over 500 acting credits, including Darkwing Duck and Winnie the Pooh. His army is called the Black Order. It is composed of Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Black Swan, Ebony Maw, Supergiant, and Black Dwarf. Black Dwarf has unbreakable skin. His name was changed to Cull Obsidian for the movie Avengers Infinity War. Corvus Glaive is Thanos' right-hand man and his most loyal warrior. He has an immortality blade, so he cannot die so long as his weapon is intact. Ebony Maw is naturally persuasive and can make almost anyone do as he desires. He is the most dangerous member of the Black Order. Proxima Midnight is Thanos' best fighter due to her weapon. She is a spear that was made from a star in a distorted space-time. This causes a spear to take on properties of a star, a supernova, and a black hole simultaneously, making it one of the most dangerous weapons in the universe. This spear was crafted by Thanos himself. Black Swan can naturally locate where universes are about to collide. Thanos used her knowledge to destroy universes before they collided with his own. Supergiant is a mental parasite. She feeds off people's minds, experiencing their fondest memories. However, this experience causes the person who lost their memory to go insane or die. Okay, let's look at the Infinity Gauntlet. In this story, Thanos obtained the 6 Infinity Stones, giving him godlike powers. The story became so popular that Thanos was branded as Marvel's biggest villain. The Silver Surfer was the one to warn Earth about Thanos when he obtained the Infinity Gauntlet. With the Gauntlet, he created a lover he believed to be worthy of him called Taraxia the Terrible. When he became omnipotent, he turned Mephisto, Marvel's version of Satan, into his personal lackey. Using his Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos turned Wolverine's adamantium skeleton into rubber. Thanos has one weakness: a subconscious desire to fail. Thanos is in love with Mistress Death, but since she is a fundamental force of the universe, Thanos doesn't believe he can truly deserve her. Thanos believes that anything he does to obtain power, to equal or surpass her power, was not earned but cheated. As a result, every time Thanos seems to achieve his goal of obtaining absolute power, he tends to give it up. The first thing Thanos did when he obtained the Infinity Gauntlet was spell out the word God in stone. When he obtained the gauntlet, the gods united against him. They included Osiris of Egypt, Nawada of the Celts, Itzamna of the Mayans, Odin of Asgard, Cyrog of Russia, Manitau of the Native Americans, Quetzalcoatl of the Aztecs, and Zeus of the Pantheon. Thanos effortlessly overpowered them all in less than a minute. The Infinity Gauntlet is not the first story where Thanos tried to take over the universe. His first plan for universal rule was to manipulate the power of the Cosmic Cube. The cube can manipulate matter and energy. It seems to be only limited by the holder's imagination. However, it doesn't just project the conscious desires of the holder, but also the subconscious desires. This can make the cube a weapon of catastrophic proportions that no one can control, not even the possessor of the cube. Okay, now let's look at the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones are the most powerful artifacts in the universe. The first stone to debut was the Soul Stone. It first appeared in the Power Warlock #1 in 1972. The stones appeared together for the first time in Avengers Annual #7 in 1977. Originally, they were called the Soul Gems. Since they're called Infinity Stones in the Marvel films, they're referred to as such in recent comics. The Infinity Stones represent the 6 elements of the universe: time, space, reality, power, mind, and the soul. If a person obtained one of these stones, they would have unlimited control over that element. If a person were to obtain all the stones, they would become God. Despite how it's depicted in the movie, wearing the gauntlet and using the gauntlet exerts no effort or energy. Although each stone is supposed to be a specific color, it varies from comic to comic since the artists forget which stone is which. The Power Stone grants the wearer incalculable strength and durability. The Reality Stone allows the wearer to alter the rules of the universe like gravity, thermodynamics, and atom structure. The Mind Stone gives the wearer unlimited telekinesis and telepathy. The wearer can also project himself or herself through the astral plane to an unlimited level. On top of that, the wearer can feel the same thing as anyone he or she wants and is immune to all psychic attacks. The Soul Stone allows the wearer complete soul manipulation, stealing souls, switching souls, resurrecting the dead, granting immortality to anyone, and so forth. The Space Stone allows the wearer the ability to teleport or rearrange matter. The Time Stone allows the wearer to control time. The wearer can time travel, stop time, reverse time, de-age living things or inorganic matter, or accelerate the age of somebody so they shrivel to dust in a second. On the other hand, the stone can be used to stop cancer in time so it can't spread or cause damage, or to accelerate any cure or medicine to super speed. Thanos' adopted daughter Gamora obtained the Infinity Stones during the Infinity Wars. She used its power to kill Thanos. Don't worry, he'll be back. The stones originate from an omnipotent being called Nemesis. Despite her absolute power, she became lonely with her existence and committed suicide. All that remains of her is the 6 stones. The Infinity Gauntlet itself has no power, it simply contains the stones. Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four used the Infinity Stones to try and will them out of existence. Sadly, it didn't work. It is the only limitation the stones have in the universe. The stones have existed for over 1 trillion years. The Reality Stone is the most powerful of the stones. If a person obtains a stone, it can connect to the possessor of the Reality Stone of every other universe. The Soul Stone is considered to be the most dangerous stone. The Infinity Stones work dramatically different in the Marvel films compared to the comics. In the comics, the Cosmic Cube is an artifact made from the remaining energy of a previous universe and can grant the wielder wishes. In the Marvel Universe, it is known as the Tesseract, and it acts as the incubator for the Space Stone. The Space Stone can open wormholes in space. In the MCU, the Ether is the Reality Stone. It can alter the laws of the universe. The Orb houses the Power Stone. Being exposed to the stone kills almost any organic life. The Scepter that Loki uses houses the Mind Stone, which can control people's minds. Doctor Strange's necklace harbors the Time Stone, which can manipulate time. The Stonekeeper guards the Soul Stone on the planet Vormir. There is a 7th stone that has rarely appeared that represents ego. If it is fused with the other stones, they will gain sentience. God and the Living Tribunal are immune to the effects of the Infinity Stones. The Living Tribunal is like a cosmic judge. If you want me to do a video about them, let me know. If a person obtains one of the stones, they can feel where the other ones are and will be naturally drawn to them. Thanos stole the stones from their owners. He stole the Soul Stone from the In-Betweener, an entity that encapsulates the duality of the universe, light and dark, matter and antimatter, good and evil. He stole the Power Stone from Trico Slatteris, better known as the Champion. The Champion is the greatest fighter in the universe. He stole the Time Stone from Ord Xynos, better known as the Gardener. He used the Time Stone to create a perfect garden where none of the plants or flowers age. He stole the Space Stone from Gilpetrodon, better known as the Runner. He doesn't actually run, he uses the Space Stone to shift the universe around him, giving the illusion that he's moving at astronomical speed. He stole the Reality Stone from Tanalir Tavan, better known as the Collector, an elder of the universe obsessed with collecting unique things. He stole the Mind Stone from Endui Gast, better known as the Grand Master, the greatest games player in the universe. The Infinity Stones have been wielded by Thanos, Adam Warlock, Nebula, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, and Doctor Doom. When Thanos obtained the stones, he destroyed half the universe as a sign of love to death. He did this with a snap of his fingers. Professor X deduced that the Mind Stone is the unconscious mind of the universe. After the heroes of Earth defeated Thanos with his Infinity Gauntlet, they took the Infinity Stones away. They never intended to use them as they believed the stones' power would corrupt them. For a time, each of the stones were protected by a representative of Earth. Iron Man had the Reality Stone, Professor X harbored the Mind Stone, Namor the Submariner harbored the Time Stone, Black Bolt harbored the Space Stone, Doctor Strange harbored the Soul Stone, and Reed Richards took on the Power Stone. The Stonekeepers of Earth hid the stones in the most well-guarded places imaginable. Black Bolt of the Inhumans hid his stone in his home of Attilan. Namor hid his stone in the depths of the ocean where the pressure is so powerful that only a select few could withstand it without being crushed. Professor X hid his stone in the X Mansion inside the Danger Room. The Danger Room creates solid holograms for training. The Mind Stone can only be accessed after the most difficult training session is completed. Iron Man held his stone in Area 51, which he owns. The stone cannot be accessed unless the person is scanned. The scan checks brainwaves, circulatory systems, alien imposters, optic scans, dental records, and cellular composition. Doctor Strange held a stone inside the astral plane, a psychic universe that no physical being can enter. The leader of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, created a baby universe to hide his stone. Reed Richards believes the stones are alive. The stones once took on humanoid form. Anyone that is near the Time Stone may become vastly older or younger. Captain America used the stones to prevent a universe from collapsing into his own universe. However, the stones cannot be used against other universes. Although he stopped the universe from destroying his own, it made the stones shatter. But they eventually came back because Infinity War came out and the comics just had to milk it. During the millennium, Marvel rebooted its comics with a separate universe called the Ultimate Universe for modern audiences. In this version, there's 2 Infinity Gauntlets. And for the 100th fact, let's look at the stupidest story ever about Thanos. In one of his earliest stories, a powerful artifact fell out of his helicopter while he was on Earth. Firstly, Don't know why an alien like Thanos has a helicopter. Secondly, the helicopter had his name written on it, just in case you forgot it was his. Thirdly, it was called the Thanos Copter. Hellcat and Spider-Man fought Thanos, and the story concludes with him being taken to jail by the NYPD. That's right, a guy who defeated the Hulk by slapping him was taken to a New York jail by just 2 cops after being defeated by Spider-Man and some other person you've never heard of. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe. Please let me know if there's any other Marvel villains you want me to do a video about, and I'll upload it as soon as possible. If you like these facts, check out my books, 1000 Facts about Superheroes, Supervillains, comic book characters, and comic books. They're all available on Amazon on paperback and Kindle.